You carry God's DNA. That's why you must believe that nothing can pull you down. And it is from that standpoint that you can focus on what God told you instead of the circumstance. You carry God's DNA. Genesis 1:26, let us make man in our own image. If God created us like an archangel, that would have been enough wonder. If you read the Bible and you see the qualification of archangels, it will humble you. There are angels that can stand. The Bible said an angel in the book of Revelation, it said an angel stood on the earth. One of his legs covered all the seas and another covered all the land. And he said his head was in the sky. And he said the angel shouted, 1/3 of all the birds died. That is a stature of an angel. One angel. If God created us like those ranking angels, it would have been dangerous enough. But he didn't create us like one of them. The Bible said, let us make man. If God created you in the image of the Holy Ghost, that would have been scary enough. If he created you in the image of the Son, that would have been dangerous enough. If he created you in the image of the Father, that would have been spectacular enough. But he didn't create you in the image of the Holy Ghost. He didn't create you in the image of the Son. He didn't create you in the image of the Father. He created you as a compilation of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. So in you is a dimension of the Father. In you is the dimension of the Son. In you is the dimension of the Holy Ghost. So when you appear, they can see the Father, they can see the Son, and they can see the Holy Ghost. Is it this you that house rent can kill? Is it this you that cancer can kill? Is it this you that lack of job can destroy? When the enemy comes, tell yourself, when I move, God moves. When I appear, God appears. Because as he is, so am I. Not in heaven, in this world. That's why we move forward. We don't turn back. Nothing can make us, nothing can threaten us. Nothing. Throw me into prison, I'm having encounters there. Nothing can break your spirit. As he is. If I was like Jesus, that would have been enough. If I was like the Holy Ghost, that would have been enough. If I was like the Father, that would have been enough. But when I show up, Jesus shows up, the Holy Ghost shows up, the Father shows up, because my technology is a combination of Father, Son, and Spirit. So when I'm thinking, Father is thinking, Holy Ghost is thinking, Son is thinking. When I talk, God talks. He said, when they hear you, they hear me. And so when the devil shows up, sometimes go into your prayer. When you pray, when you appear, sometimes you appear with the dimension of the Holy Ghost. You know the Holy Ghost? He is pneuma. That's why the Bible said, as the wind bloweth, thou listest not from whence it cometh or whence it goeth. So are they that are born by the Spirit. So when you come like pneuma, you are not fighting, but the devil can't trap you. He sets a trap here, you go here. He sets here, you come here. They gang up against you, you vaporize. And they are wondering, what's going on here? I am the wind. As he is, so am I. And they are wondering, why can't we get him? You can't get the wind. Is the dimension of the Holy Ghost Jesus was talking about when he said, even if you step upon serpents and scorpions, they shall by no means hurt you. If you drink any deadly thing, it shall by no means hurt you, because you have become invincible. Now, at this level, you are not yet fighting. You are just invincible. So they gang up, they call your name in the shrine. Fire appears. You are not fighting. You are just being the Holy Ghost. You are operating like the Holy Ghost. And then sometimes you now switch to the Son. And you start operating like the Son. The Son is the spoken word. That's the realm of prophecy. They gang up while you are praying. You are praying. After a while, words begin to bubble out of your spirit. Words begin to bubble out of your spirit. Words begin to bubble out of your spirit. And then you look up, you start talking. Now you are moving from Holy Ghost to Son. Because all of the dimension is on your inside. And they said you will not prosper. And after a while you are talking. And then the words come out. The words come out. And as it begins to come out, you start prophesying. You start creating. And you say, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor is seated in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. And on this law doth he meditate day and night. He is like the tree planted by the rivers of living waters. His leaf comes in his season. He produces his fruit in his season. Yay! say, I produce my fruit in my season. Everything they said, you canceled it. Because the word creates. It doesn't matter the roadblock. It doesn't matter what they have said. See, when prophecy goes forth, even dry bones can become a great army. And so because you are created in the Son, the image of the Son, the walls to create are on your inside. The problem is that you distracted yourself looking at your fears. They told you will die tomorrow. Go to the altar. There is a word there. There's a word. He said he sustains all things by the word of his power. I'm not sustained by the promises of men. I'm not sustained by blood. I am sustained by the word of his power. So no matter how hopeless the situation is, from the altar, the walls can bubble up. And when the walls bubble up, all things can change. Everything can turn around. This is how you focus on your vision. So nothing they say move you anymore. They told you your boss has said something. Some people ganged up against you in the office. Go to your altar. Go there. Even your boss was created by the word. The office was created by the word. The earth was created by the word. When you catch the right word, you shoot it into that circumstance. Oh my God. It said when men are cast down, you say there's a lifting up. It said although the enemy shall come in, it said like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. It said gather together, they shall scatter. Take counsel together, it shall come to naught. Speak a word, it shall not stand. For our God is in our midst. Is in our midst. He frustrated the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. I carry wars in my spirit. I carry wars in my spirit. My God. Brothers and sisters, there are wars in your spirit. You know what Jeremiah said? He said, with joy shall ye draw waters out of the wells of salvation. See, that was good. But in the New Testament, you don't need a cup. A cup is not enough. No, in the New Testament, you don't need a bucket. You don't need a drum. So when Jesus came, he said on the last day of the feast, he cried out with a loud voice. He said, they that believe, out of their bellies shall flow rivers of living waters. My God, rivers. Can I tell you, nothing dies in your hand. Nothing fails in your hands. There is a word in your spirit. Find that word. Release that word. Even the dead can come back to life. The Bible said even the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of God. It said they that hear him, they shall live. Nothing dies with you. You have just not found that word. And the reason you didn't look for that word is because you don't know you were created in the image of the Son. That's why you distracted yourself with your fear. When next fear comes, get the word. Get it. It's in your spirit. Jesus said, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word. There's a word for every circumstance. And so if I know that I'm created in the image of the word, no matter what the circumstance is, I will forget it and find the word. He said, all things are sustained by the word of his power. My life is sustained by the word of his power. My business is sustained by the word of his power. My career is sustained by the word of his power. My family is sustained by the word of his power. So when there's an attack on anything, I find the word. And when I get the word, I can change the situation. I can change it. I can change it. And you know, you are also created in the image of the Father. That's the faith realm. That's the realm of dominion. And so sometimes when there's problem, be still. Don't stagger. It said be still, you will see the salvation of God. See, you can just be still, and after a few seconds, an awareness breaks into your spirit, and you rise up, you give a law, and the situation changes. Even you will not know how. But you know what happened? You enter the dimension of the Father. Because the Father is the Lord of all. When he talks, is government. And all of those dimensions are in you now. The reason you fear is because you don't know in the image you were created. He said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. If you know this, fear will leave you. You will stop focusing on fear. you will now start focusing on what is on your inside. You know, one of the ways to live the Christian life is to find out what is in you. Because Christianity is not a religion. It's divinity expressed through humanity.